Imagine you're in your home, safe, until a call comes in claiming someone inside is suicidal and armed. You don't hear the knocking, they force their way in and shoot you in your own home. And that's exactly what happened to Mr. Case. This is Case versus Montana, headed to the Supreme Court on October 15th for oral arguments. Make sure you like and follow, guys. You don't want to miss this. So how did all this happen to Mr. Chase? Well, his ex-girlfriend decided to call the police on him and claimed that he was armed, dangerous to himself and to others, and that he was suicidal and willing to fire on police. This is called a welfare check. And when it's done out of malevolence, it's pretty much a swatting. The Supreme Court will be ruling on this case using a prior case, Caligula versus Strom. Caligula was a man who sarcastically told his wife, "Take my gun and put me out of my misery," during an argument. Then he kicked her out. Well, she called the police and got them to show up. Police showed up and convinced him to go to a mental institution for evaluation. They convinced him by promising they would not go in his home or confiscate his guns. After they sent him to the institution, his wife was told that he gave permission to give up his guns, so police came in the home without a warrant and confiscated all the guns. And that's because of these two things right here, both this Case versus Montana and Caligula versus Strom. The Community Caretaker Act is where the police are just looking out for the community so they can enter even if there's no crime or imminent danger. And under the emergency aid doctrine, someone's life or safety is at immediate risk, so they can enter right now. When Case versus Montana went to the Supreme Court of Montana, they held that the state had the right to do this under these two doctrines. And in the case of Caligula versus Strom, the Supreme Court of the United States ruled that what happened to Caligula was not protected by either of these two doctrines. And the Supreme Court will be using that prior case and its ruling on this case. This case will be heard October 15th in front of the U.S. Supreme Court for oral arguments. By the way, guys, Caligula was a 9-0 decision, 100% unanimous, that it was unconstitutional and a violation of his Fourth Amendment rights. The Supreme Court pushback in Caligula versus Strom, SCOTUS said the caretaker doctrine does not extend to entering homes. The home has the highest Fourth Amendment protection. This needs to be ended. The welfare checks that are used with malevolence, the swattings, the entering people's home without a warrant, this is just a way for people to target gun owners whenever they're upset with them. I should know because a corporation I worked for before did it to me when I was making videos there. The sheriffs and FBI were told that I was trying to kill their CEO and then do self-harm to myself and maybe the police. Luckily, I didn't live in that home anymore. I had just moved from there a month prior. So when they knocked, no one answered and they just came on in. And in their report, they say the place looked abandoned. It was. Guys, this kind of thing can happen to anyone when they want to use your words against you. Or if they just want to make up that you said something at all. So guys, I'm going to pay close attention to this case, and I hope you do too. You can make sure you're following it by following me on Instagram, subscribing to me on YouTube, or following me on X. I'm trying to get remonetized there since I'm not on the other platform anymore. But money's tight till I get remonetized. If you guys want to help me out directly, there's a GoFundMe on my Instagram profile. Thank you guys for anything you can do, and thank you for being vigilant patriots.